Order regular governing board meeting to order. First, we have our Pledge of Allegiance by Butler Girl Scouts. Can you please stand?
And plus, it's still bummer. Why you make it so close? Girl Scouts attention. Color Guard advance. Color Guard honor your flag. Please stand and join us in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Color Guard retire the colors. Color Guard dismissed.
Thank you. Next, we have roll call.
Governing Board President Ms. Patricia Jimenez.
Present.
Governing Board Member Ms. Maria Hernandez.
Present.
Governing Board Member Mr. Rudy Santa Cruz is absent. Governing Board Member Mr. Harry Gerwel is absent. And Governing Board Member Governing Board Clerk Ms. Maria Guzman.
Present. Thank you. Now we have approval of December 14, 2023, regular governing board meeting agenda. Is there a motion? So moved. Is there a second? Second. Call for the vote. Motion carries. Next, we have approval of November 16, 2023, public hearing and regular governing board meeting minutes. Is there a motion? So moved. Is there a second? Second. Any discussion, changes? Hearing none, call for the vote. Motion carries. Next, we have governing board report. First is myself. Les quiero dar la bienvenida a todos. Gracias de nuevo por tenernos aquí en la escuela Butler. Gracias a la directora, a los maestros, a todo el personal, los estudiantes, los padres de familia que están aquí para apoyar a sus hijos. Siempre nos gusta venir aquí a las escuelas. Les deseo una feliz Navidad y un próspero año nuevo y que tengan unas vacaciones seguras. Thank you for hosting us, principal, staff, teachers, parents. Thank you for being here, supporting our students. It's always a great honor to be here and see the students' performance. That's something that I truly enjoy. I want to wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and hopefully you have a safe vacation. Thank you. Next up is Ms. Guzman.
Thank you. I just want to welcome everyone tonight. Thank you for inviting us and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Ms. Hernandez.
It gives me great pleasure to see all of you guys here this evening. This is such a a pride to me. I take this very personal because I know how hard it is to get parents to get out of work and get ready and be here. And it's just an awesome feeling to feel you are all here today supporting your school, your staff, your principals, your site. It's just a beautiful thing. I want to thank you all for, being here this evening. Les quiero dar muchas gracias a todos estar aquí esta tarde, esta día. Me da una sentimiento hermosura que todos ustedes estén aquí esta tarde, que han hecho el esfuerzo para estar aquí. Yo tomo eso muy personalmente por ser que los padres que hacen el esfuerzo para venir y estar y apoyar su escuela, sus maestros, su directora, su ambiente de sus niños. Am, y también igual les quiero dar a todos el feliz día de Navidad y el Año Nuevo y que siguen adelante y ojalá que siguen el apoyo para siempre. Again, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope this support continues to go very far.
Thank you. Next is Superintendent update, Dr. Ventura.
Madam President, members of the board and Isaac community, it's a pleasure to be here at Butler School and see the wonderful things that are happening. Before I give my report, I just want to thank the staff here at Butler. If you could all please stand. These folks work tirelessly for your children. Thank you so much. Last week, we had another parent advisory committee meeting, and we so appreciate parent voice. I know our schools and our district really value the information you share to us so we can be better at the work that we do in providing your child with a quality education. We are proud to share with you, we had 97 parents graduate from the Family Leadership Institute. Families were part of this program of learning, and we were one of several districts throughout the nation that received this grant, and we had some of the highest attendance and graduation. So thank you to those families that are working hard to learn how they can better support their children in school and be better parents at home. Also, last week we had National Special Education Day. We have lots of students here with differabilities, not disabilities. They're just different. They learn differently, they experience things differently, and we work hard to make sure that all our students feel a sense of belonging in our district. So I want to recognize our students that bring other abilities here to our school, and thank those that work with them to make sure they have the same experience as others. We also had a wonderful event called Shop with a Cop. Mr. Gallegos, Officer Gallegos, if you could please stand and be acknowledged. He's not in his uniform today, but he is our one of our community action officers. He work with us to make sure that our schools are safe. And last week he had Shop with a Cop, and many of our students had the opportunity to go shopping with police officers and select Christmas gifts for themselves and their families. So thank you, Officer Gallegos, and thank you to the West Valley Mavericks for your support. Also want to acknowledge one of our principals. We have a Principal of the Year in a national it was not a contest, but a national recognition. If Principal Kevin Sotomayor, if you could please stand. Is he here today? He might still be eating pozole. But he was, there he is. Let's all give him a big hand. He was recognized by K-12 Drive as the National Principal of the Year for outstanding leadership. He's done wonders to improve the culture and climate of Isaac Middle School. I had a former superintendent reach out to me and thank me. And I said, well, don't thank me, thank Mr. Sotomayor, because he's really worked hard to change the culture and climate of that school and make sure that school provides quality learning and instruction so our kids can have high achievement. So thank you for your leadership, Mr. Sotomayor, and continue this amazing work that you're doing for the years to come. We also want to acknowledge Alicia Bauer Weidman. She successfully defended her dissertation So we're happy to have another doctorate in our Isaac family. And we also want to recognize we have some graduates of the National Certified Teachers Program. And this is a program where teachers attend, it's almost like a master's program where they work really hard to refine their practices. And so we have two teachers, Miss Melanie Liddy and Deb Siebels, that went through this program and passed. So they are now nationally qualified, and they are great examples to our teachers here in Isaac. And I encourage all of our teachers to strongly consider this program because it will truly help you do your job better, refine your skills, and provide quality instruction for our students. Madam President, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Next is new business information, discussion, and action. Alta E. Butler Elementary School highlights. Ms. Elba Enriquez, Principal, Alta E. Elementary. Ms. Enriquez?
Hi, good evening, Madam President, Governing Board members, Dr. Ventura, Isaac community. My name is Elba Enriquez, and I'm the proud principal of Alta E. Butler Elementary School. So before I begin, I'd like to give a special thanks to our Girl Scouts, and also the leads, Ms. Guerrero and Ms. Perez. The Girl Scouts did an amazing job leading the pledge, so I want to thank them for their service as well. Thank you. So we're honored to host this evening's governing board meeting and to share just a little glimpse of the opportunities that our students have here today. And so before I begin, I would like to take a moment to recognize and celebrate our staff. They're an amazing staff. They're hardworking, they're dedicated, and they come every day and work towards what's best for students. So most of them are probably in the back with our kids, but if anyone is here from Butler staff, please stand up so that we can recognize you again and say thank you. So any staff members, please stand up. Thank you.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So continue. At Butler, we are data driven and we use data to guide our daily efforts. I would like to briefly dive into some data and review some state and district data. So this year, our state report card was a C. I hold that C with much reflection and planning towards upward movement. The graph that you see demonstrates our proficiency English language arts for third, fourth, and fifth grade students. Butler is shown in green in comparison to our Isaac and state averages. Here is the state proficiency data in math for our third, fourth, and fifth grade students. The slide compares our math proficiency levels against the district and state percentage averages. I want to highlight that there is urgency at Butler, and we want to continue with a targeted effort to close that achievement gap because our kids deserve it. In addition, this data also represents our school year 22-23 school-wide proficiency percentage averages for reading and math, as it compares our beginning of the year progress with our end of the year progress. Next, it's our integrated action plan. So we want to focus on continuous improvement here at Butler. And I want to highlight 3 areas of our focus. One is teacher clarity. It involves a deep understanding of the standards to ensure a clear grasp of what student learning objectives are. Our second, you will see student goal setting. Students create goals and teachers monitor them throughout the year. And last is student discourse. Our focus is creating meaningful structures and opportunities for students to share their thinking and their learning. So, our Butler students had enrichment opportunities through our 21st century programs this year. And currently, we have 177 students enrolled. We will showcase some of the enrichment classes we offer after school. I want to take a moment, though, to acknowledge our staff's commitment and dedication toward the continued different learning opportunities beyond the regular school year. A special thank you to Ms. Rouse, Julie Rouse, and Ms. Tracy Soldad, who are our two coordinators, after school coordinators. Thank you. She has a fan base here today. At Butler, we also value our parents and appreciate their contribution. Appreciate their contribution to our school vision. Here you see a few pictures of our parents. We strive to empower them and integrate them since they can significantly make an impact to student learning. I want to take a moment also to give a huge shout out to our parent educator, Miss Claudia Acosta. She brings parents together and engages them bi-weekly with parent classes and other continued parent engagement opportunities. Our site council, a crucial part of our school, governs, unites teachers, parents, and community members to advise on improvement strategies and support positive educational setting. We appreciate their contributions and look forward to collaborating on the end of the year planning. Here, I'm delighted to share the ways we honor and uplift our Butler students. Under Ms. Galindo's leadership, our PBIS program celebrates students that exemplify respect, responsibility, and safety. We proudly recognize achievements in academic growth, attendance, and I-ready performance. I would like to take an opportunity to acknowledge an exceptional contributions of our staff. So first, I would like to recognize Ms. Julie Rouse's commitment to building and sustaining positive relationships with students. Her heart is clearly dedicated to our students and service. One of our committed after-school coordinators, she is loved and respected by the Butler community, Miss Julie Rouse. Thank you. Next, I would like to honor Miss Claudia Ramirez, our reading interventionist, who brings her passion for literacy to life daily. Her understanding of the profound impact of reading is invaluable in shaping our students' lives. Miss Claudia Ramirez. Continuing our appreciation for our dedicated staff, Miss Amelia Lopez, our school secretary. She has been our community cornerstone for 25 years. Her unwavering commitment ensures safe, loving environment for our students and our Butler community. Miss Amelia Lopez. Last but not least, another invaluable staff member is our very own Miss Mirna Gonzalez, our school custodian, who is instrumental in maintaining a clean, secure setting for our students' learning and growth. Miss Mirna Gonzalez. We are immensely grateful for them. I truly appreciate them. Well, in closing, I'm excited to transition to the showcase of our students' talents. So tonight, we are proud to present talent from our Butler clubs. Their hard work and creativity are a testament to the vibrant spirit of our school community. I kindly respect our board members to proceed to the assigned seating to enjoy our performances of the night. Thanks.
That's so good.
Thank you, Rachel. Parents, if you would like to pick up your students, they will be in room 3 and in room 4 if you would like. I appreciate you being here. So with that said, I want to sincerely thank the board and Dr. Ventura for your unwavering and continued support. This marks the end of my presentation. I welcome any questions if you have.
Thank you. We're just gonna wait a little bit and then I'm gonna
Yes.
see if the board wants to make any comments or questions. You for hosting us, and if the board has any comments to say, questions or comments,
I just have a comment, Madam President.
go ahead, Ms.
Just-
Hernandez.
Ms. Enriquez, you're awesome. You're shining throughout all of this here. So this is great. It gives me goosebumps just to see the positive
Thank-
that you're doing here at this site. So keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very proud of them. Thank
Madam President, also I want to thank you guys for the hard work that you guys do with the students, with the programs and everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Guzman. Means a lot.
And I want to also thank you. And I had the privilege of being here on Tuesday.
Yes.
I visited all the schools and I love going into classrooms. And I know I came at a bad time because you had some testing, but the little that I saw and the parents' interaction making those
Oh.
gingerbread houses that they win.
Where's
No,
Mr. Costa?
I don't know who won, but just the involvement of the parents and
Yes.
going into the classroom and seeing the kids learn is just amazing. So thank you very much. And
Thank you.
I know your staff work hard, and I know
Yes.
that, like you say, you look at data, and I know that's something that you guys are united, and by working together, we're gonna get where we need to get. But thank you very much, and I see
you.
all the parents supporting,
Yes.
and I think it's amazing. Gracias de nuevo a los padres que vinieron a apoyar a los niños. Se los agradezco. So thank you very much for hosting us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you, Ms. Galindo, for all your work.
Thank you. Okay, next is item B, first reading of policy revisions GCK and GDJ. Mr. Jose Arenas, Chief Human Resource Officer. This is just information. Mr. Arenas?
Madam, sorry, Madam President, governing board members, and Dr. Ventura, tonight we bring forth as presented new business information and discussion.
Sorry, not staff. The superintendent needs to make changes for the best interest of the district. And I do believe that, that's something that we just need to remember. So that's what this policy is for. So like I said, if you have any questions, please. Any questions? No? Okay, thank you. Next, we have approval of renaming of the previous school named Lila Alston, Dr. Mario Ventura, Superintendent, and Estela Barraza, Community Health and Safety Specialist. This is information, discussion, and action. Dr. Ventura?
Madam President, members of the board, I'd like to invite some of our officers from the Superintendent Student Advisory Committee to come forth and share our renaming process for Leela Alston School that was closed years ago. As you know, we are looking to reopen that campus as a place of learning, not just for our preschool students, but also for the community.
Good evening, Madam President, Governing Board, Superintendent Dr. Ventura, Cabinet members, and Isaac community. We represent the first Superintendent Student Advisory Council, commonly known as the SSAC. I am Fernando Palacios, serving as the President of the Superintendent Student Advisory Council, an 8th grade student at Pueblo del Sol. To my right is Bella Silvestro, Vice President and Finance and Projects Officer, an 8th grade student at Morris K. Udall. To my left is Isabel Hinojosa, a 7th grade student at Morris K. Udall. We are grateful for the opportunity to address you today. Our purpose is to present our top 3 name choices, suggestions for the renaming of Layla Austin's campus.
Good evening, Madam President, Governing Board, Superintendent Dr. Ventura, Cabinet members, and Isaac community. The process of renaming the Layla Austin campus began this summer, involving summer school students from all schools who shared their top 3 name suggestions. After a thorough review, we selected the top 2 names and have crafted a new recommendation, presenting our top 3 choices to you today. These suggestions are a testament to our dedication to remembering and dedicating the legacy of Representative Layla Alston while simultaneously ensuring the new learning space embodies the shared values and aspirations of the Isaac School District community.
Good evening, Madam President, Governing Board, Superintendent Dr. Ventura, Cabinet members, and Isaac community. Renaming the recommendations for Layla Alston campus are Growing Stars,
AZ Stars,
and Estrella Brillantes.
As we wrap up our presentation sharing our top 3 names today, we are eager to see which one you will choose. We look forward to driving by the campus and witnessing all the names selected. It will be a prideful moment for us all.
From all the Isaac School District students, we express our gratitude for the opportunity to contribute to this legacy building process. Are there any further questions?
Does the board have any questions on the process? Why stars? How did you guys come up with stars? No, anything? You guys, any questions? No, well, I do. So I noticed that it's growing stars, all stars, Estrella Brillantes, which is pretty much stars. So tell me behind the stars, what made you guys? I want to see your thoughts. What were you guys thinking? What were you guys doing?
Madam President. So our schools during the summer, they provided the names. We had 30 names altogether, and the Superintendent Advisory Committee, they went through them and voted them out and kept some. And then the last one was something that they developed. So the Growing Stars and AZ Stars came from the community.
Sure.
Reading through the different
Can you
names.
get the microphone?
When we were reading through the different names, we particularly saw interest in these 2 specifically. They specifically caught our eyes because of the word stars. When we think of the word stars, we think that anyone has the chance to shine brightly and do anything they can dream of. Just like the thousands of stars in the sky at night, we all have a chance to shine just as bright as everyone else.
That's what I wanted to hear. Because, they're going to ask, why did you pick this? So, and it's good to know because it comes from the community. It comes from you, like you said. And I know in recognition, I thank Lila Alston. She serves in the House of Representatives, and she is going to be recognized with the plaque. But this is something that the community wants, and why they chose this particular. It gave us three names, and ladies, it's going to be up to us three to pick the names. So thank you very much. Unless you have any further questions, I'll proceed with the voting. Okay,
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
So, before we proceed, I'm gonna be asking, since there's three of us, I'm gonna ask for the motion for the first I'm gonna ask a motion for first and second. And if there's no motion, the motion dies and we'll move on to the next. So I'm gonna say the first one first, and then the second one and the third. But when I say the first one, if you want I'm gonna say a first and if you want, for example, if you want number the first one, I'm gonna ask for a motion and the second. If I don't hear anything, it dies. And then we go to the second one. If you like the second one, I'll ask for a first or a second. If you don't, if there's anything, it dies too. Okay, any questions?
Madam President, so we'd like, the votes need to be oral,
Oral.
verbal.
Verbal, yeah. Okay. Okay, so is there a motion to rename Lila Austin as Growing Stars? Going once, going twice. Okay, motion dies. Next, is there a motion to rename Lila Austin AZ Stars? Going once, going twice. Motion dies. Is there a motion to rename Lila Austin Estrella Brillantes?
Second.
Is there a second? Or second? Okay, so now, Yuvia, do you want to do a roll call?
Governing Board President Ms. Patricia Jimenez, may I please have your verbal vote?
Aye.
Governing Board Clerk Ms. Maria Guzman, may I please have your verbal vote? Governing Board Member Ms. Maria Hernandez, may I please have your verbal vote?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion passes. So Estrella Brillantes would be the name of Lila Austin. So, so out of curiosity, did you guys have a vote what we were going to pick? No? Did you guys say that one? No? Well, like I said, in our community, it's mostly, Latinos, and something that I really stress that when we're naming the school, Estrella Brillantes, we call it Estrella Brillantes. We don't change the name to Brilliant Stars, because that's not the name. So thank you very much. Thank you. I am honored and pleased that we have our first site council students. It's amazing. I think you're going to be the first one, the legacy, when we do something over there at the school. And we are going to have a ribbon cutting, just so you know. We're going to probably next year. So that is going to happen as well. Does the board have any questions, anything, comments?
I have a quick comment, Madam President. I just feel with Pueblo del Sol in one side and Estrella Brillantes, I mean, they just go hand in hand. It's it's kind of like a perfect combination. They just work well together. I think that's just the name that will stand out and be powerful in our community. Thank you for all you do.
Ms. Guzman?
I also have a comment. I have a couple of my kids and grandkids that went to the preschool. And I recall that I never called it Rent Harbor, the preschool. I always called it because they did the Shining Star program. So it was like, oh yeah, they go to the Shining Star. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not even the name of the school. But to me, that was the thing. So I really like the name Estrella Brillante. And I like the way it's in Spanish and stuff. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, now we move on to approval of the marquee signs project for the Isaac Elementary School District Number 5. Mr. David Morales, Director of Support Services, Information, Discussion, or Action. Mr. Morales?
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Ventura and community, today we bring before you a proposal to replace the district-wide marquees across the district, except for one school, and that would be more as they received a new marquee a couple of years ago. This would also include a new sign at the district office, which currently doesn't have one. Um, the proposal includes removal of the old marquee, installing a new digital marquee and cabinet as well with the logo as part of the actual design of the thing. So for the new name of Leela Austin, I guess a star would, definitely be a part of that logo there. The other ones would basically be their district logos. Some are Cougars, Tiger, whatever they happen to be. Those will be incorporated there. Uh, it is a wireless marquee. I mean, so it'll be wireless Wi-Fi. If approved, we do need to meet with the technology department as far as getting the technology part set up. And then, of course, we'll be meeting with the school and draft up a different markups of designs of the cabinet and what that logo will look like. Once those are approved, then we can go into production. So with your approval, Madam President, members of the board, we ask that you approve the Summit West signs um, for the amount of $456,000, $651.44.
Okay, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
Call for the vote. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next we have approval of purchase and installation of sport lighting from Verigy of for Isaac Middle School and Mitchell Elementary School. Mr. David Morales, Director of Support Services, Information, Discussion, and Action. Mr. Morales?
Madam President, members of the board, today we bring before you a proposal to replace the LED lighting or ball field lighting over at Mitchell, which currently has one. Isaac Elementary does not have one. Those would both be installing 8 new light poles at the schools. Each one would have separate controllers for those lights. There are as an app to do it, but there's also a manual turn on and off. These are all LED lights. There are 60-foot poles that are adjusted. There are 4 classes of lighting that you use for ball fields, from 100-foot candles to 30-foot candles. Of course, the highest level and the brightest, of course, for a professional. We're going to be a class 3 or class 4 right in there. We're going to be our average in the interior space for the ball field is 50-foot candles and then 30 out on the ball field, on the play fields. And typically you want it brighter in the interior because that's where most of the play happens. Again, with your approval tonight, we ask your approval to approve the proposal for Vera Energy for Isaac Middle School in the amount of $774,000. That includes $11,000 for engineering and a permit. The only reason we'll get a permit if it's required, typically we don't need to, but if they do ask us for a permit, then the price is included in there. If not, we'll do a deduction. The Mitchell Elementary School is in the amount of $705,000. Same thing there. 9,000 of that is for engineering or permit if required. Again, Madam President, we ask for your approval to Vera Energy for these 2 amounts.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions? Mr. Morales, so I'm looking here at, well, I know they're not our pictures, but how are we making sure that like if they break, what's the warranty, and making sure that we're taking care of these lights? Because I know are both fields being used after school?
They don't use them. The ones that have lights do, but the ones that are not after school, once it gets dark, they have to cut off the ball field, the lights, or close out the game early because of the lighting conditions. But there is a 25-year warranty. So that So that will not be an issue with any maintenance or stuff like that. As far as actual installation and manufacturing warranty, that's only a 1 year for workmanship, but the actual poles are guaranteed has a warranty of 25 years.
And depending board approval, what's the ETA?
The time frame to get them installed is typically to do the projects is 3 to 4 months. But right now, once approved, we would have to order the materials to get ordered. You're looking at probably March would be the earliest we would receive the poles and lighting, which could start at that point. Uh, or if we wait until the summer. So if the school is fine with the work starting during school time, we can start as early as March and then be done probably with 2 months after that.
Yeah,
But it's about a month just to lead time to get the materials.
because I would really like to see our sports started, and our Isaac, we call it softball, and make sure that our lights are working. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Guzman.
I see it's just Mitchell and Isaac. Is there plans in the future for Pueblo?
Yes, we have two more coming up. Those will be coming hopefully to you soon. Hopefully, as we return back for the school years, and we're looking at doing Pueblo and Udall as well. Those designs are already in place. Already got those, and then hopefully those will go on the agenda here shortly. But yeah, and those are the actual four that we're looking at doing.
Okay, thank you. Call for the vote. Okay, motion carries. Next, approval of purchase of installation of restrooms renovations for the Isaac Elementary School District office restrooms. Mr. David Morales, Director of Support Services, information, discussion, and action. Mr. Morales?
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Ventura and committee, before you is a proposal to renovate the bathrooms at the district office. This is not a complete renovation, but we are it is removing the finishes all the way down to the stud level. The we're- the restrooms have never been updated, so this will be the first time they'll be updated. The reason we're also taking it down to that level is to there's some issues with plumbing and stuff like that, so we want to make sure we insulate the and reduce the noise level down. So we'll be adding insulation, new finishes, a new tile, new flooring, new fixtures as that goes. We're also, because we're going to use electronic flushes for the toilets, urinals, and sinks, we're having to run electrical because it was never designed for that. So we'll be running some electrical and new can lighting. Um, the schedule calls for it to be, it's about a 13-week time frame for each side. We're only going to do one at a time. We're going to start with the men's and not the women's. Another reason we're doing that is because the millwork is customized, and that millwork on the men's is going to be here sooner than the women's portion. So we'll be starting with that one, and then and once we get the millwork or cabinets for the women's, then we'll start right after that. Again, during that process, we're more likely either make it that co-ed or leave the women's there. We'll have to find an alternative how we switch back and forth. But that way, there's always one restroom available. We expect, once approved, we expect the first set of bathrooms, the first set with the men's room to be completed the day of the board meeting, which is in January, and then soon the next following days start on the women's bathroom for renovations. So, Madam President, members of the board, we ask for your approval to Right-Hand Construction for the remodel of the bathrooms at the district office in the amount of $126,000, $972.00.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions? Hearing none, call for the vote. Motion carries. Next, we have approval of certified staff promotion for 2023-2024 school year. Jamie Massey, teacher on special assignment at Morris K. Udall. Mr. Jose Arenas, Chief Human Financial Officer. Information, discussion, and action. Mr. Arenas?
Good evening, Madam President, governing board members, and Dr. Ventura. Tonight, we bring forth the recommendation to hire Ms. Jamie Massey for the position of teacher on special assignment, TOSA. Ms. Massey is a graduate of Grand Canyon University, where she attained her teaching degree in history and recently completed her educational administrative program. She has served the Glendale and Washington school districts respectfully prior to beginning her teaching career here in the district, specifically at Morris K. Udall. An additional point of reference is that Ms. Massey also completed her student teaching responsibilities at MKU. Ms. Massey completed her administrative intern hours under the leadership of Mr. Gary Glay. Her efforts and support in building systems and structures of support for our middle school students will benefit the middle school environment. The committee and Mr. Glay support the due diligence and professionalism Ms. Massey will bring to MKU, the administrative team, the teachers, the students especially, and the staff, as well as the overall community.
Does
I
the board have,
present Ms. Jamie Massey. I'm sorry.
thank you. Does the board have any questions? Hearing none, call for the vote. Want to get a verbal vote?
Governing Board President Ms. Patricia Jimenez, may I please have your verbal vote?
Aye.
Governing Board Clerk Ms. Maria Guzman, may I please have your verbal vote? And Governing Board Member Ms. Maria Hernandez, may I please have your verbal vote?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, motion carries. Congratulations.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the Governing Board, and Dr. Ventura. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to have this opportunity, and I am looking forward to continue learning under my mentors, Mr. Gary Glay and Dr. Ramirez. I've taught social studies and science at Morris K. Udall. As mentioned, I did my student teaching, and this is an amazing opportunity that I'm really looking forward to. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Next, we have approval of the whole consent agenda. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, call for the vote. Okay, motion carries. Ms. Perea, next we have is called to the public. Do we have any request?
Madam President, at this time, we do not have any public requests.
Thank you. Next, we have the enrollment at 4,920. Calendar is December 25th through January 5th, winter break. And our next regular governing board meeting will be held 5 p.m. Thursday, January 11th at the district office. And if I don't hear any objections, meeting adjourned. Thank you. Can we take the